silent. I'll give everyone a moment to do that. Hello again, everyone, and good morning. My name is Lieutenant Tracy Lewis, and I thank you all for joining us today at this ceremony commemorating the 23rd anniversary of the September 11th attacks. Thank you to our esteemed elected officials who are with us today. We have U.S. Fire Administrator Dr. Lori Moore Merrill, Senator Brian Kavanaugh, Assembly Member Deborah Glick, Council Member Christopher Marte. We also have with us our trustees of the museum and honored friends and guests. Today we reaffirm our promise. Today we reaffirm our promise to never forget the sacrifices made by the fallen FDNY members and their families. Please, I will ask that you all remain silent for the presentation of the colors. I will now invite FDNY firefighter Olawale Lawal to sing the national anthem.
Detail and salute.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ready, two.
Thank you, Firefighter Lawal. I will now invite FDNY Chaplain Rabbi Joseph Potasnik to deliver the invocation.
Detail on color.
I thank you for this honor. Some 23 years ago, following September 11th, I officiated a funeral of a young person from FDNY. The mother came over to me before the service and said, "Rabbi, I think of what I've had, I think of what I've lost, and I realize in my lifetime I have still been very blessed." We come here today with the grief of those we lost. We come here today with gratitude for those we had. Cardinal Dolan taught me years ago that when Christians look at a cross, they see the crucifixion, but they also see the resurrection. Jews, when they look at the word shachar, meaning darkness, realize that it also means dawn. So we come here today to express our sorrow, but also to express our thanksgiving. When we leave a museum, we realize we looked at the past, we live in the present, and we look forward by holding each other to the future. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi Potasnik.
Color
We will now hear from Fire Commissioner Robert Tucker.
Thank you, Lieutenant, and thank you for recognizing the appointed and elected officials that are here. Welcome to all of you. I have some prepared remarks, but I thought I would do something that my staff is going to cringe at and not open them. It's a small group. The first thing I wanted to do was recognize a great friend of the FDNY, Michael Barish, who is here and has done so much for our city and firefighters and the FDNY. Michael, welcome. This is a sad day for the FDNY. For me personally, it's a solemn day. When I think about honoring the 343 firefighters killed that morning, I also have to think about the 370 members of our department who have also passed away of illness related to the rescue and recovery. I think about all of their families because we are one family. And I feel very honored to be here at this special museum, which everybody here knows is closed, but it will reopen, bigger, better, stronger. Thank you, Mr. President, for having us. And I just want to thank you all for the love that you show the FDNY every day, but in particular today. This is a hard day for us, and it's a hard day in all honesty for me. I've been the fire commissioner for less than 4 weeks, and I know my job. I know what I belong doing, and I know what I should leave to Chief Esposito and the other great members of this department. But today I stand alongside everyone here to give love, to give gratitude, and to give thanks to the members who have entered into eternity but have not left the FDNY, and to their families. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Tucker. We will now have remarks from the Acting Chief of Department, John Esposito.
Thank you, Tracy. I am not as brave as the Commissioner. I will not be. Dozens of our rigs have that saying on it that all gave some and some gave all. 9/11, the New York City Fire Department, everybody gave all. And, we had hundreds of our people rush toward danger. And this morning, the Commissioner and I had done some interviews with the press, and they had asked us what we want people to remember about today. And as I stand here and look at, reminded of all our members that we lost, and I'm looking at pictures of friends of mine, think about what they did, not far from here, going into certain danger, and what I believe some of them knew they were not going to return from. And they kept going to help people, and that is what we do in the New York City Fire Department. The people of the city need help, and we respond. We had 343 members die that day, an overwhelming loss. We were knocked down, we were hurt, and we came back, I believe, bigger and better and more capable than ever. We continue to push forward and make ourselves better. The tragedy that we had that day was, even now, 23 years later, just continues to be unimaginable. In one thought, it seems like a long time ago, and then this morning, when you look at that beautiful blue sky we have today, it's the same sky we had that terrible day. And I can't help as we get late into this summer, as it cools off and you have that sky of remembering and coming back. So thank you to Patty Murphy and the Fire Museum and, everything that you're doing to remember the great work and the sacrifice that our people made that day. So thank you, and just have a peaceful day.
Thank you, Chief Esposito. We'll now invite Fire Commissioner Tucker and the Acting Chief of the Department, John Esposito, to perform the laying of the wreath. I will now invite the Executive Director of the New York City Fire Museum, Patty Murphy, to give the closing remarks.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you all for being here today for this important ceremony, which we are honored to hold every year at the New York City Fire Museum. It is a profound privilege to house the FDNY 343 Memorial, the first permanent memorial dedicated to the 343 FDNY members who made the supreme sacrifice on September 11th, 2001. Today, as always, we solemnly pledge that we will never forget their courage, their bravery, and their supreme sacrifice. But we also gather here to honor not only those who were lost that day, but also their families, friends, and colleagues they left behind, and all those who suffered injuries or worked on the recovery efforts. We remember those who have fallen ill or passed away due to World Trade Center-related illnesses. Their struggles and sacrifices, too, remain etched in our hearts. Before we conclude today, I'd like to take a moment for some special acknowledgments. As Lieutenant Lewis mentioned, we're joined by many distinguished guests. Thank you for your presence and for making this event possible. We're deeply grateful for the support of the Office of the Fire Commissioner, FDNY Ceremonial Unit, Intergovernmental Affairs, and the Office of Public Information, including the Special Events Team and the Digital and Media Unit, who are live streaming this ceremony to ensure that more people can share in today's commemoration, especially given our limited capacity. Finally, a heartfelt thank you to Michael Calderone, who once again has generously donated this beautiful wreath we see today. That concludes our ceremony. Thank you all again for being here. God bless and protect the FDNY.